Title 42, the COVID-era immigration policy, which allowed the federal government to quickly expel most undocumented immigrants, has now expired.
So far, the number of migrants crossing at the southern border today has not resulted in the surge the Department of Homeland Security had been bracing for. Now, a new White House policy, basically the old Title 8 with a few small changes, has been put in place. It seeks to discourage illegal border crossings by imposing a 5-year re-entry ban on anyone caught. Those captured crossing illegally a second time open themselves up for federal prosecution. And as those new changes at our southern border play out, we begin our new series, Immigration in Colorado. Over the coming months, our team will focus on the complex issue of immigration and how it impacts us here.
We start with new data, which shows the number of undocumented immigrants getting arrested in our state for committing crimes is going down. Numerous studies have found there is no link between undocumented immigrants and increased crime.
But one southern Colorado sheriff blames state law for keeping dangerous criminals on the streets. Over 2.3 million immigrants crossed the southern border illegally last year. That's an 80% increase from 2020. In that same time period, the number of undocumented immigrants being arrested in Colorado dropped by 75%.
Investigative reporter Sean Rice explains the differing perspectives in this special report, Enforcement Examined.
10-2 Ernie, Robert.
I got you. How do you have me?
10-2. All right, boys, be safe.
On a cold February morning this year, federal immigration agents were conducting surveillance of an undocumented immigrant with a criminal history in El Paso County.
So we rolled that white Ford Ranger out.
This man, 34-year-old Ruben Niz Hernandez, a Guatemalan national, was previously convicted of aggravated incest on a child in Colorado Springs. He was sentenced to 20 years to life on Colorado's sex offender intensive supervision program for that crime after crossing the border illegally 3 times. ICE agents tell 13 Investigates the need to arrest him was urgent because he was still living with the child he sexually assaulted.
He'll be taken to an immigration office and processed. In that process, they'll explain what his rights are. They will also provide him information for pro bono legal services, consular notification information, allow him to contact his family, things of that nature.
Without Hernandez's criminal history, ICE says he would not be eligible for federal criminal prosecution in Colorado for entering the United States illegally. In 2022, El Paso County deputies arrested these 3 men, Hector Sarabia Cabrera, Isidro Sarabia Gonzalez, and Braulio Baron Rubio. The trio is now awaiting trial for murder. Court records allege the undocumented immigrants executed a man believed to be a drug associate along the side of Old Stage Road back in June. All 3 men were previously convicted of various crimes, including theft and other drug-related cases in Colorado, but were never deported. If convicted on their current murder charges, these 3 men would join the 528 undocumented immigrants already serving time in Colorado prisons. But 13 Investigates has learned ICE has filed federal deportation arrest papers for all 3 men, meaning once they go through the court system here, an immigration judge may remove them from the country.
In our enforcement activity, our immigration officers focus on the most egregious threats to public safety and national security.
Kelly Walker is the Deputy Field Office Director for ICE in Denver. She says ICE solely focuses on federal lawbreakers tied to serious criminal activity in the Centennial State. However, the National Institute of Justice concluded in 2021 that there is no link between a higher number of undocumented immigrants entering the country and higher crime rates. In 2022, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement arrested 430 suspected undocumented immigrants who've either been convicted or are currently being prosecuted for crimes in our state, and that number includes 45 suspected gang members. But the overall numbers show a steep decline in these federal arrests. In 2019, Colorado ICE agents arrested over 2,000 undocumented immigrants, and it dipped again in 2020 with nearly 1,800 arrests. ICE has not released publicly accessible numbers for 2021. Teller County Sheriff Jason Mikesell believes the sharp decline is due to a 2019 Colorado law called Protecting Coloradans from Governmental Overreach.
They were attempting to stop any involvement with ICE, with local agencies.
The law prevents local law enforcement from alerting ICE when an undocumented immigrant is being held in their jail for another crime. This includes being released from a Colorado prison with a potentially serious conviction on their record. Mikesell says when he and the federal government came to an agreement in 2018, there were various crimes Teller County detectives were investigating involving undocumented immigrants, specifically large illegal marijuana grows. But the state representative who pushed for the law says there's a reason.
If you've been arrested and you're being held on some charge and you're in custody in the sheriff's office, in jail, you're not being held on immigration matters under an arrest.
Specifically, former Rep. Adrian Benavidez says the 2019 law establishes a clear distinction between a civil immigration arrest and a Colorado criminal arrest.
The requests that were coming from ICE were just simply requests. They were not signed by a judge or anyone else. And that was the real distinction. We don't do this for civil law. And that's not our role.
Teller County Sheriff Jason Mikesell is the only sheriff in Colorado that has an agreement that allows him to hold undocumented immigrants in his jail for ICE agents.
You as taxpayers have to pay even more for these people that shouldn't be here in the first place committing crimes. And why do we want these people that come here to commit crimes still committing crimes? It doesn't make sense that taxpayers have to bear that burden.
But that may soon change. This year, Colorado Governor Jared Polis is contemplating signing a new bill into law that bans ICE facilities and forbids sheriffs from using their jail for immigration arrests.
We are hearing left and right that our local law enforcement don't have enough resources to provide the local law enforcement services that our communities deserve.
But Sheriff Mikesell believes the new law creates a bigger issue for addressing rising crime in the state.
And the thing for ICE is that they're working hard to do it, but now it's going to be twice as much time to try to find these offenders because nobody's going to be able to work with them. So you're releasing criminals back into the population too.
That law will eventually void out the Teller County Sheriff's agreement, an agreement that will stay in place until either ICE or the Sheriff's Office wishes to terminate it. Until then, the only sheriff who has the authority to hold people in jail because of their immigration status plans to hold them accountable.
So don't come in this county and think you're going to commit a crime, get away with it, and walk away with it just on state charges.
Sean Rice, 13 Investigates.
Next week, we profile an immigrant who has built a successful life here under a federal program known as DACA. It protects immigrants who came here as children from deportation.
You'll also hear from federal lawmakers in southern Colorado about what they want to see happen with the program, which for now has an uncertain future. That report, Immigration in Colorado, The Future of Dreamers, airs next week on Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on KRDO News Channel 13.